and listen on your favorite platform.
Black and White Sports.
Listen, I don't buy tickets anyways because that team doesn't get my money. I buy merchandise right now. I don't buy anything Browns until Kevin Stefanski loses his job.
Hey, now remember, hold on. This is the most incredible part of the comedy. There were 35 quarterbacks on this roster at one point. And this guy, you guys won't let this boy even pretend like he's going to play? I don't know how you Browns fans do it, man. It's remarkable.
Weekdays from 4 to 6 on 100.7 The Ticket. His Store and More, the Man Superstore Studios. This is 100.7 WQQO HD2 Sylvania, Toledo, a Cumulus media station. Ohio State football. Training camp report.
This report is brought to you by Safe Light Auto Glass and by Bob's Discount Furniture. As Ohio State gets ready to start practice to prepare for 2026, all eyes on quarterback Julian Sayin, who says he feels more responsibility this year.
I think playing quarterback at Ohio State is its own responsibility. It's not, a certain second year start. It's extreme quarterback here.
And Sayin says there'll also be more work under center this coming season.
Coach Smith has done a lot of things where, the quarterback's getting up there. We have multiple plays called, and in quarterback, you're able to make the decision on what you want to run and what the defense is giving you and what the look is. So it's fun as a quarterback to have the responsibility at the line of scrimmage.
We'll have more after this.
Bob's Discount Furniture has the furniture you've waited 250 years for. We've got power reclining sofas as low as $7.99, 5-piece dining sets as low as $3.99, Bob-O-Pedic mattresses for as low as $2.99, and of course feature-packed bestsellers like my Playday sectional with pop-up sleeper sofa. So stop in or shop mybobs.com to see where America shops for furniture. Oh my Bob! Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safe Light Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelight.com. Safe Light Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
As he prepares for his second season as the starting quarterback at Ohio State, Julian Sayin at Big Ten Media Days was asked about what might happen as far as up-tempo players slowing the pace down.
I think we always, kind of can vary, and we can dictate how the game's going. And, sometimes you want to play fast and get the defense on their toes. And sometimes, it calls for a huddle and let's get the right look. And, let's call 2 plays. Let's figure it out what we're going to run here. So I think it always going to vary. So it kind of depends on the game and what it is.
He says it's also been important to try and get on the same wavelength with a new group of receivers.
It's been a lot of fun to kind of get to know those new receivers and, really just work on the different nuances of their routes and things like that and how maybe they did things at their old place and kind of teach them how we do things at Ohio State.
Of course, the Buckeyes start practice this week. They'll begin the season Labor Day weekend at home against Ball State. We'll have another report tomorrow. This is Paul Keys on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available.
Call now. Toll free. 800-558-5635.
If you've been in an accident that wasn't your fault, well, your favorite message for you. If you've been in an accident that wasn't your fault, well, your favorite attorney has a message for you. Collision, calamity, catastrophe. If you want money, you need an attorney. You need a bulldog. That's why you got to call the number on your screen now. They'll help you connect to a legal expert. You have questions, they have answers. These bulldogs will make sure people pay. And if you don't get paid, the attorneys don't get paid. Pick up that phone and call now to see what your case could be worth.
800-370-5435.
Kick the football when you know Lucy's gonna move it. Why would LeBron come back when you've got the Harden factor? You put Mobley and Allen with LeBron, they're just gonna get in each other's way. And then the kicker is the coach who said they were down 3-0 in the series. He said, but analytically, we're winning this thing. Do you really think LeBron James is going to sign up for that?
Weekdays from 4 to 6, ESPN 100.7 The Ticket.
Black and White Sports is now.
Trust and believe. It's something totally different. And stop with the Eminem, because Eminem's not one of the best either. And y'all can stop that.
Dre says he's the best on the mic. That's
Dr. Dre is a Fed, and so is Snoop. We covered this. Everybody fool with Dre and Snoop is dead or was locked up. I don't care what Dr. Dre said.
I'm just reporting.
Dr. Dre was wearing women's shoes before it was fashionable to do it as a guy.
Toledo's sports leader, ESPN 100.7 The Ticket.
I know you're kind of busy just now, but I want to tell you some things I never told you. I know sometimes I act stupid and I say stupid things, but you kept me around, and other people would have said, drop that bum. You give me respect. You know, it's hard for me to say these kind of things because that ain't my way. But if I could just unzip myself and step out and be someone else, I want to be you. You're real hot.
If the papers knew we were talking like this, they'd think we was crazy. Why you?
Because I'm the best and you need somebody to teach you different. You may not understand what I'm talking about now. I can appreciate that, but you will when it's over. Believe me. You will when it's over. You think I don't have any more?
You got nothing more to prove, do you?
Look, man, this is the opportunity of a lifetime.
I got a lot of more. Come on. Here we go again.
And we wish to show the American press a small portion of the advances.
What does all this do to enhance performance?
It makes a man a better man. A great athlete, a super athlete. Though most of the world is ignorant.
It's showtime! It's showtime!
Come on. I wish to educate your country.
In great spirits tonight. He's really putting on a show for this capacity crowd.
Shall we have a demonstration?
Please do.
As you can see, the result's quite obvious. Whatever he hits, he destroys.
Now you're gonna have to go.
And we say good day to you all. It's time for the Sports Talk call. So we answer, we pick up the phone. Yep, we cannot leave you alone. You find yourself in the zone. Always prone to attacks, back smacks. Yep, Sports Talk when he raps. No, what's going down today on the afternoon coming through here? It is a Wildin' Out Wednesday, Josh. I'm not exactly sure why I mean that, but I think it's true. Good day, everybody. I am Andre of the Savages. Josh Burnham is who I'm talking to. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, and shout out to Nick Cannon, the masterminds behind that popular show.
Right. Shout out to, shout out to the savant. But absolutely. You know what's funny about that? We didn't necessarily mean it that way. We really weren't on a Nick Cannon page. But since Josh said that, you ever seen, I might hearken to a familiar theme in the show when they say, how fly is he? He's so fly, that rascally Nick Cannon, that you can be completely talentless and run it for 20 years just by surrounding yourself with people who have it. See that, Josh? That's all it is. You don't need it. You just need to be around people who have it. You understand that?
Yeah, I mean,
that's what it is.
And another way to put it, he's so fly, he makes James Brown look like Lawrence Welk.
Damn. I don't know if I'm going to agree, but everybody can say what they want to say, as we know.
Okay, it's called Black and White Sports, everybody. So we're going to say what we want to say around here, and we thank you for letting us do it. Glass City, Southeast Michigan. Okay, in the building. Exit 11 up there in Monroe. Thank you. All right, we down here in BG, Findlay, respectively, Oregon, Perrysburg, Maumee. Then we downtown with it. Okay, over here on the north for nothing. NON, what's going down? Yeah, like that. On Black and White Sports, that's heavy. South side, you already know. Shout out to everything down western and south. Josh, I don't know if you know these parts. I don't know if you're with me on some of this, but I think you're in there.
Well, I've heard the down eastern Alexa, but maybe the down souther. I mean, that's different.
East side, what's going down? Okay. So look, today, a few things, and actually I missed items yesterday. That's unfortunate too. But listen, just real quick, reactions, Schoolboy last night. It's not a bad outing, Josh. I understand, but you all won't say. You're not going to get on here and say today, because you won't call us 877-909-1007 and say, hey, Sav, you did give us the Chicago play last night. You told us don't fall for the bananas. You said it. Andre, you told us. I did. And we went, didn't we? We said the Tigers too.
Yeah, they did. They played very good last night.
But no, Schoolboy, it wasn't a bad situation, Josh. He got in 6. Andy said that. Andy said, we're going to do about 6. 4 hits, 2 earned, 6 Ks. I mean, it's not it's not that we say, Schoolboy, but no, man, that's a wild turnaround. Wait, listen, what I say to you, next start, that's a Dodger lock. I don't care. And I know there's some struggles, and I understand. What's the update on the Cubs right now? Are they getting swept? Because I think this is where the spin around comes right here. They're not getting swept by the Cubs. Tell me they're not.
Well, this
losing.
is game 1 of 3 set against the Cubs. The Dodgers, they're a little bit of a scuffle lately. It's dog days of baseball. They just came off of being swept by the Red Sox. They just lost their opener to the Cubs. So maybe they'll bounce back tonight, and who knows? Oh, actually, let's see.
It's not. You sure it's not the third?
Well,
game,
actually, we got an update.
What is the score of the game, though?
Bottom of the 5th, Cubs 6, Dodgers 1.
Damn, that's rough. And I still, again, when you see him again, if it takes till you see him again and the winning begins there, I might say that. Maybe don't bet on the Dodgers until Schoolboy comes back. Even with everybody else, I understand the rest of I get it. But right now, it's not clicking. Something's not clicking.
Yeah, they're on the verge of getting swept if the Dodgers don't rally soon.
Thank you, Josh, for cleaning that up. But I knew. I just didn't want to do the thing that we do. Okay, but we're here in here, so wilding out. See, it's already started. We didn't wild out. We didn't wild out early, okay? Impressed with being here today. Andy, later in the second hour. So some of the typical work, but it won't be the regular style, as you guys know. But yeah, and I have some off-the-wall matters too also, Josh, because this does smell sinister to me. And, I got one of these, one of the ones that smelling just like peanut butter isn't being discussed on the street.
I wonder what that is.
Just saying. I don't, it sounds sinister, and it has a spooky theme. That's all I'm going to tell you, but it's an interesting conversation. I definitely shared it on the wall. And it is a Maverick Carter play. Because we all, it's usually a Rich Paul nation. No, this is a Maverick King assert, Josh.
Is it got to do with the wall?
Well, I'm just saying, we'll have it. I'll agree on that. But anyway, let's break in. The story kind of today's day, NFL camps, is Stephon Diggs has landed again.
Nice, he's
got a job. Hey, listen, but I don't know. I'm not mad because, listen, I've had my issues with Diggs. I don't think anybody can be upset with what we got in New England. And having said that, I would imagine he could be a useful transitional component to whatever's happening in Washington. As the Commanders have offered Diggs, we understand it to the tune of about $12 million.
Mm-hmm.
So Commanders, new home.
Yeah, well, the Commanders needed wide receivers, and getting Diggs would not definitely hurt.
Obviously, big year, Jaden Daniels. Got to do a lot to silence the people. This could be a helpful, asset to doing this. But there you have that. That's kind of, the talk. Oh, also too, out of ATL camp too today. Jalen Walker, he's gone. ACL in practice, seasonal.
That's got to hurt.
I would imagine. Adam Schefter reporting that. So, a few items on deck today. Oh, and also I said the wall too. I have a couple of items from Sage Steele concerning Ryan Clark. And it actually, I think one of them involves Dan Dockage. That makes it better. How did you Sage Steele, Dan Dockage? How can I miss Ryan Clark? You're inside welling up over the potential comedy.
Yeah, I'm just imagining what kind of stew is that in this latest agreement of sports media gone crazy.
Well, no, I just thought it'd be fun because I thought it was cool. You know what I mean? That this sort of took place and the display we got just makes it easy money to take. So we'll do it. All right. Let's step aside. I imagine you have a ring the bell today. We'll do
yes,
that.
we
Let's
do.
come back. We'll come back and do this. All right. We will add Bonnie to the fray. It's a Wild and Out Wednesday. We'll start to let the thing cook and speed it up because it's a fast $1.20. And we appreciate you guys hanging with us. And if you were on the Facebook, well, you saw that. So we're done with that thing. Get inside the app right now or pull up the YouTube Savvy Television situation. 100.7 FM, though. Radio, primary focus. Sit tight. ESPN in the glass. It's black and white.
Join Andre of the Savages weekdays 4 to 6 on Black and White Sports. ESPN 100.7 The Ticket. ESPN 100.7 Right Now Traffic.
Report of an accident. Airport between South and Fearing also slow going. 475 westbound between Corey and 23. Some good news. Monroe Bridge over 75 in Sylvania is scheduled to reopen Saturday night. That's your Cumulus Toledo Right Now traffic.
Are you tired of the side effects that can come with GLP-1?
Toledo Weight Loss Secret, a weight loss program that you have likely come to know I am a big believer in. But at first, I got to say, I was skeptical, felt like I had tried pretty much everything.
Here's
but
a
injected.
great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging.
Viagra, $2 a pill, $99 minimum order. Call 800-925-5313.
Upgrading to a smart home? Only Vivint offers a fully integrated smart home system. Every device works together seamlessly. Call Vivint now and get free professional installation, $200 off your initial order, and 0% APR financing for up to 60 months. Plus, you can get 24/7 professional monitoring for as little as $1 a day. Upgrade your home to a Vivint smart home. For your free quote, call
800-853-6497.
Maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation. Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now.
800-580-6475.
In a car, you call KNR.
I was a no star in high school. Like, I know people say 3-star, but I was a no star, So, yeah, definitely I use everything that I can to give me a little bit of an edge for sure.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
Fastest buck 20 in sports. We call it Black and White Sports each and every day. We do it 4 to 6 p.m. Appreciate you hanging out. My name is Andre of the Savages. Wilding out Wednesday, so we say. Schoolboy, I thought, listen, man, the turnaround is wild, first of all. And I don't know what anybody was really expecting, but I felt more than confident expecting the Dodgers not to necessarily have success last night. And maybe to some extent, him not necessarily being great. And so, I don't know, both things might have happened. Now, the Dodgers, you could already argue there was a struggle underway. So we understood that. But this type of turnaround, the various energies that have to be doing a real circumvention through this guy's system in Brother Scooble, and just all of it, the turnaround, the emotional component that he put on display actually for the world, which isn't necessarily familiar to us when he gave us a transparency that you don't often get, and just sort of expressing on certain levels how difficult it is. But obviously we're professionals, we're men. It doesn't matter. We want this bag that comes with these things, and the potential prospects of being a world champion and being a part of a legacy that can't be erased. So who knows the sum total of all of that in this guy's complete mental palette, if you will. And I thought it was still, we said it before we left, it was still solid. He gave you the 6, you know what I'm saying? Roberts was cool. Let me get you, we're not going to overdo it. We're not going crazy here. Get a workout real quick, get some rec. Gave up 4 smacks, you know what I mean? 2 earned, and so 6 Ks. We said it's not a bad, it's a triple A. That was a triple A. That was a triple A work for him last night, Josh. That's how I'm going to look at that. I'm telling you, bet on him next outing. That's what you do.
Yeah, and don't mind about the Dodgers' recent struggles. They will turn around because they're just
and you know this. And you know this. This is stupid to talk like this, especially stuff like this in August. It's hard. This is why all of this type of thing and this type of occupation, it has a cornball quality to it in its nature when you're trying to have certain discussions. You know what I mean? But you try to get some kind of electricity out of whatever moments we can. And last night, it quantifies as one of those, regular season times that is worth taking a gander at. So, that was schoolboy last night though, but the Dodgers get smacked. And we told you don't fall for this. Way too much attention on him, the team, and people looking to get a steal. And the public had to have come running, and we warned you. So hopefully you were the benefactor as well from last night, along with the Tigers. Josh, what do you have? Oh, you
Yeah, I
ready?
was
You
just
locked and loaded? What are you
yeah,
gonna
I'm
say?
just going to mention that the Cubs still lead the Dodgers 6-1 to the bottom of the sixth. P. Crow Armstrong has 2 home runs today.
All right, let's roll this, man. Let's ring the bell too. But first, let me get Monty Features in here. All right, all calls. Guests brought to you by Wake Up Call Line is in here in motion, man. We got our edge rusher in the building. He is none other than the one only Mr. Monty Features. Good afternoon, sir. Appreciate your patience as always.
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
A little better every day, brother. Chilling, and anything. And I don't necessarily expect. Plus, I know you're busy all the time anyway. But I don't know if you got to see any of last night, or you probably saw some highlights. And it's still worth mentioning. I was just saying I didn't have a large expectation for Brother Schoolboy last night, only from the standpoint that I'm trying to imagine what this man has dealt with in the turnaround, knowing what the travel is to get to the West Coast and having that flight. Then there's a level of jet lag still associated with just all of the things and the people with the mic in your face constantly because you're the talk of the free agent market, so on and so forth. But again, like you said, solid outing. Still got you 6 Ks last night and 6 innings, and it's solid. You know what I mean? But again, for him, nothing to write
Yeah.
home about, but nonetheless.
Yeah, it was surprising me. I'm like, they didn't even let him go to bag check, did they? Before they threw him in the start.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So it was like, nah, that was a bad bet last night. Don't mess with it. You know what I mean? And people ran, they went running because of what is advertised and what you expect. And usually, what he's gonna do, no matter what, and wherever he's at and whatever uniform he's wearing. And I think you got, like I said, there were some glimpses in there in the start last night that certainly point to later on it's going to get ugly.
Yeah.
Especially when all those boys tune up and they all get rocking. I would like to see the Dodgers may do something defensively that we might not have seen based on that. If what the rotation should be looking like and everybody that can be involved with that thing is involved, that could be very hellacious when you're looking at your postseason tries at winning and you don't go for them.
The way that team is set up, you definitely don't want to be seeing them in the postseason.
And that's all they do. And that was like I said, Josh, that was a AAA work for him. His first one as a Dodger, and we're gonna get ready. Nothing about it that was going on last night, you know what I mean, is of a concern to anybody in that clubhouse as we point to trying to again rewrite the books and do the 3 in a row. So I'm not mad. Like I said, I wasn't mad at it. I wish him well. We get the business of it. I definitely hate to see him not a Tiger. I do. I'm not. I will say that, and I'm still like sort of a closet Dodger thing because I got my LA ties and stuff. I never really went too off the wall with the baseball team, but I'm from the the era when the LAPD was actually friendly to the neighborhood kids and they hand out the baseball cards of Steve Garvey and Ron Say and these boys. You know what I mean? They used to give you that. You know what I mean? Fernando. And all that was my time. That was what was happening. You know what I mean?
Really aging yourself with that one.
Yeah, I know. I'm killing them with that. They're like, what? What's going on? Yeah, absolutely. No, I used to actually walk up to the police cars and everything. It was cool. Like that. That was the relationship was kind of like that. And then the whole thing ran amok, as you all know, history will show you. But that had to cut out. But there was a time when you had that sort of friendly energy and transfer with the law enforcement and the regular youth and you know what I mean, and lads of the community and young ladies. Yep, that was real. Ask somebody who grew up in the Southern California area in a certain time window. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Speaking of cards, I wonder if you ever got a Mike Marshall from the.
No, Josh, I wouldn't have it though, Josh. I would tell you I have no remnants, you know what I mean? I have no material to pull out for you to present. You know what I mean? Not at least in that frame. Now I got some other stuff that might shock and awe you. Don't get me twisted, buddy. I will pull out, some evidenceries. But, like I said, man, I'm not mad at the Dodgers for that. I don't mind it being the Dodgers. You know what I'm saying? But, I still feel like in some twisted universe, this man's going to end up back on this team. Can I say that? Because, I don't think it's a Dodger extension. I don't think I'm staying for the long haul here. I don't think I want to be a part of Ohtani's legacy to that degree.
So he's thinking it's only a rental.
I believe absolutely this is what we're doing. So let's go ahead and get what we can get. And then I feel like I'm scoop. I told my boys, I'll see you boys later on. Let me go get out here and cash out. And then, what I'm saying, I'll be back through here. Once then I can come back and say I'm bringing championship pedigree
mentality
to the 313. Absolutely. Watch and see what it is. The kind of what they was hoping to get a little bit of stain off the Verlander energy, and it just didn't pan out. A little too late in the window for all of that. But I think you have Scuba goes out, Ventures comes back through, and we get something that is really interesting and compelling to talk about when we say the legacies one day. All right, Josh, let's go. But last night we had everybody working. Let's talk about it. It's Ring the Bell, brought to you by our man, Anthony Butler. He is the master barber and stylist. Ladies, you can pull up on it, 1248 West Sylvania, or give them a call first. It's usually polite, though. Call people before you kind of just start popping up on them. You never know. It's okay, though. Walk-ins are welcome, and the 5-star Google rating should be an incentive. 419-407-0880. He is Anthony Butler, the master barber and stylist. Ladies.
Want to ring the bell? All right. Ding, ding.
It's called Ring the Bell. Anthony Butler brings you this. All right, so let's roll back last night. What went on? We were kind of talking about it, obviously, mentioning the Tigers. You have to, when you talk about the latest news and happenings. But last night, Josh, what is the situation? Brother Melton runs scoreless streak to 14 innings as Tigers' best Mariners blank fourth straight salve with the excellent call. Bing! Figures.
Yep, Melton's now 7-1 with a 1.58 ERA. Tigers scored 4 tonight to put this one away. 8-0 win as Seattle was held to just no runs, 4 hits, and an error.
I'm telling people, watch these cats. Watch these Motor City cats get sizzly. Watch something happen to get sizzly. Woo! Wouldn't it be something if the Tigers could say, what if we had a World Series? See, I like to dream, people. I like to dream. What if the Tigers go bonkerini and somehow come through, Josh, they bust through the yard, come through the back window.
Yeah, I mean, the Central is still up.
It's crazy.
I mean, I don't really trust the White Sox. They can stumble anytime.
Hell no.
I mean, we've seen teams with like 83, 84 wins get hot, stick it to the postseason, and then go on to the World Series.
This is the time. The time is now. Watch them boys start sizzling. You like it. Okay. What else last night, Josh? There was more. These guards too. But then there's that. So either way, it's going to be some flouse and douse throughout. We love it. Locally, we couldn't be more excited. Joe Adele, Hov. Get to know me party, Josh. Are you getting clever here with the artistry? Yeah. Guardians pull a no-show. 6-2, though, they lose as we're trying to say something hype, but this is exactly why it can get sizzly in the deep.
Yeah, Adele in his Guardians debut went 2 for 4 with the run scored, had a double, but the Guardians could not back him up as they sent Cantillo to his 7th loss of the year. He's 8-7, 5 innings of work as they lost to the Amazons, who are in a rebuilding mode, 6-2.
Okay. Bam. And I know the Red Boys, too, 5-1-3. They were in motion last night. They got busy, too, I think. I think they won, too. I didn't bet them, no. I didn't trust them. That's the only reason I remember that. I did not trust the Reds last night, and I said, let's stay away. But I think they won.
They did.
5-4.
5-4.
Bing. There it was. But yeah, I didn't fool with him. I can't. You know, you can't trust these guys.
Yeah, Garcia got the win. He's 2-2 with a 2.18 ERA. Pagan got the save. Number 12, Reds scored 2 in the 8th to come back from a 4-3 deficit to win it in the Natty.
Bam. All right. There you go. What do Hens do? What they do?
Oh, as for our local Mud Hens constituency, they won 4-3, opened up a series against Omaha at home.
Okay. Shout out to that. Thank you, Hens. We appreciate that. Live from Fifth Third. All right. Back in here is Black and White Sports. We continue. That was brought to you by our man, Anthony Butler. He is the master barber and stylist. Call him today, 419-407-0880. He's actually in the shop now. And they watch it, too, because they are streaming it like the rest of you who are with us, and we got to stop with the Facebook. We just need to cut it out. I have an entirely different strategy on how to use that because that's not necessary, especially to be putting 2 hours of content on that app when we have one.
I mean, it's like, say, Facebook is trying to commit intentional sabotage to their business model.
I don't know, or at least mine. You know what I mean? And like I said, I feel like that smells funny anyway. If you know, like I know around Toledo, I have every reason to think that is a possibility. So, okay, let's continue. All right, we are back in motion. Okay, it is a Wild and Out Wednesday, but we did not think the way Josh put it when we came in. I want to keep pressing that. Josh had me out here. No, Josh. Even though, Monty, did you realize though that after watching marathon after marathon, because sometimes that is my placeholder when there's other things, you know, or not, there are no other things. A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, to be running or there's no game or there's nothing. I was turned, you know, I jumped to the, you know, the Wild and Out marathon. But in viewing that, I realized this man is like the worst on his team at doing what they're doing. I thought that makes the man brilliant in itself.
He got the formula. He ain't got to know how to cook it. Just provide the recipe.
Oh, my goodness. I got to salute him. Nick, I salute you, brother. But, yes, you are not good at any of it. And that's heavy that you can get that off. So that's what we tell the young kids. Kids, talent is inconsequential. It is very important to learn how to be liked. Let me tell you, talent will get you nowhere. Talent will get you nowhere. Parents, stop lying. Do not listen to your parents. Any young people listening to this, your parents are lying. Your talent will get you nowhere. If you are an ass face, you will lose. End of story. They're going to make sure you don't get nothing off if they can help it. But what you can do is get as much money as you possibly can in some other form or fashion that maybe doesn't require getting along with people. And then you, too, can turn around and take over the nation. Businessman, stand up. All right, there we go. Okay, it's a fun 2 hours around here. We do it every day. My man Monty Features is in here. You hear him. And Josh Burnham here as well, always trying to hold this thing together. We come to you live from the south portion of the town here in the fair city of Toledo, Ohio. All right, it's ESPN around here. 877-909-1007, because Josh said you can call or text, what have you. It's all good. You know, you don't have to, you know, knock yourself out about it. But listen, hey, Monty, listen, we're going to come back. I got one for you. And you thought it was over. Just when you thought we couldn't milk this any further for laughs and satire. Oh, no. It just doesn't stop. Prosecutors allege witness tampering in Rozier betting game. That's right. Dedicated to Monty Features from Todd Dad. All right. ESPN. Here we go. We'll be back. It's Black and White Sports. Wild and Out Wednesday. Indeed. We always do. Rozier, this is too much. It's so silly.
The ticks are cold. The delivery is savage. Black and White Sports on ESPN 100.7 The Ticket. ESPN 100.7 right now, traffic.
Things a bit slower than usual, 475 westbound around Secor, and then again around Corey to 23. If you're seeing anything we're not, let us know. That's your Cumulus Toledo right now traffic.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises, all on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices, exclusively at Walmart and StraightTalk.com.
If you've been in an accident that wasn't your fault, well, your favorite attorney has a message for you.
Collision, calamity, catastrophe. If you want money, you need an attorney. You need a bulldog. That's why you got to call the number on your screen now. They'll help you connect to a legal expert. You have questions, they have answers. These bulldogs will make sure people pay. And if you don't get paid, the attorneys don't get paid. Pick up that phone and call now to see what your case could be worth.
800-370-5435.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available.
Call now, toll free, 800-558-5635.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging.
Viagra, $2 a pill, $99 minimum order. Call 800-925-5313.
Maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation. Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now.
800-580-6475.
Upgrading to a smart home? Only Vivint offers a fully integrated smart home system. Every device works together seamlessly. Call Vivint now and get free professional installation, $200 off your initial order, and 0% APR financing for up to 60 months. Plus, you can get 24/7 professional monitoring for as little as $1 a day. Upgrade your home to a Vivint smart home. For your free quote, call
800-853-6497.
U.S. Hours may vary.
Think what will happen with the people I love when my time is up. That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
We have your new favorite spot, the Polish Ostrich Pub and Grub. Start your week off with half-off apps on Monday, plus karaoke Monday and Thursday nights. Taco Tuesday brings $2 tacos and margaritas. Wednesday is buy one, get one burger free, and Thursday means half-off pizza. Also free Fry Friday and Sauced Up Saturday, featuring live music most weekends. Open every day for breakfast, lunch, and the kitchen stays open late so the good times don't have to end early. The Polish Ostrich Pub and Grub, 944 Phillips Avenue, where Toledo eats, drinks, and sings together.
When you need fast, dependable automotive service, make sure you take your vehicle to Hudson's Automotive.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
On a Wild and Out Wednesday, that is indeed the case. Glass City, what's going down? We appreciate you each and every time you do it with us, all right? We're in here Monday through Friday. It's called Black and White Sports. Fastest $120 in sports, so it's cooking, and it's on sizzle like we think the Tigers will be short. Just watch. We cannot assume the Central is safe to anyone, and Josh just covered that. So in case you guys just popped back in, Monty Features is in here with us like he typically is in the first hour, Black and White Sports. All right. Okay, Monty, here it is. Back to the comedy portion. And I could have never imagined getting this much out of this. And we haven't really had any, I don't know. I don't know if because the proceedings here, I keep feeling like we are just spending more time wrangling and maggling over things that, like I said, at the end of the day, are only making this. I don't even know how to describe. Here, let me read. Hold on. Let me stop this. Let me just read this, Monty, because this, perhaps you expected this. I was hoping that this kind of thing would not be true, right? Now, because you imagine to yourself, you think, and we know, it's like there are people we could see, drastic measures coming into play in a situation like this. I would imagine, it can get pretty desperate. But here, let me share the Tom Shad story here. This is our guy. And as I read the headline before we went to the break, welcome back, by the way, everybody. Prosecutors allege witness tampering in Rozier betting case. And it's funny, too, because we keep having stories of the Rozier also. And I think it's important to note because it's not like the Roziering is not happening. It's like there's current Roziering while we put this emphasis on Rozier and this case. And it's funny, too, because I'm hearing less Damon Jones. I should hear a lot of Damon Jones, though. I don't understand what's happening. Where is that coming in? I still need some kind of update on the Chauncey Billups. I don't understand all of this. And Monty Features, as we know, we have yet to see anyone that we can trace to something of an organized crime base.
No Guido, nobody.
Nothing. No Paulies, nowhere, none of this. Christopher, Tony's, nobody. Okay? That's also strange. But this is what we do have. Federal prosecutors have alleged that a key defendant in the ongoing NBA gambling case has attempted to tamper with witnesses, including by posting, here you go, mine's for you, a rat emoji on Instagram. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York said in a court filing Tuesday that De Niro Laster, a childhood friend of Terry Rozier's and a co-defendant in the NBA players gambling case, has, quote, repeatedly and flagrantly violated the conditions of his release, end quote. Prosecutors asked a judge to revoke Laster's bond and hold him in custody until trial. Prosecutors allege that Laster has attempted to contact co-defendants in the case, both directly and through intermediaries, which would violate his bond. They also said that Instagram accounts associated with Laster posted rat emojis on at least 2 occasions, arguing that his use of the emoji and his reputation as, quote, someone who had a gun collection and who typically carried a gun, end quote, suggested an intent to intimidate witnesses. Revocation of De Niro Laster's bail is the only means of ensuring that he will comply with the court's orders. Refrain from further criminal conduct, preserve the integrity of these proceedings, and protect witnesses or perceived witnesses, the U.S. Attorney's Office wrote in the filing, which is partially redacted. A spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney's Office declined comment, but noted that a status conference in the case for all defendants is scheduled for Tuesday. Though Laster is not a well-known figure like Rozier, prosecutors have alleged he played a key role in the gambling case when Rozier informed Laster that he planned to leave a March 23 game between the Charlotte Hornets and the New Orleans Pelicans early. Prosecutors say Laster sold that information to fellow sports bettors so they could place fraudulent bets. Laster and Rozier allegedly agreed to a bribe of roughly $70K in exchange for the information. Rozier's attorneys have attempted to use a text message exchange from Laster as evidence that Rozier was not aware of the alleged betting scheme. In a court filing late last week, Rozier's attorney wrote that Laster texted, "Don't tell Chum," and we mentioned this the other day, about the bet to an unidentified recipient, indicating that Chum is Rozier's nickname. Prosecutors said in response that they have evidence suggesting that exchange does not relate to sports gambling. Rozier and Laster are each facing charges that include conspiracy to commit money laundering and wire fraud, with a trial currently scheduled for February 8th of 27. They have both pleaded not guilty. Rozier's attorneys have asked a judge to dismiss his charges against him. An attorney for Laster did not immediately reply to messages from ESPN seeking comment. So now they out here as rats now.
Maybe he got kids, man. He going to Chuck E. Cheese, man.
That's all it is. I know this thing overdoing it. They just overread these things. These people just overdoing it all the time, man. Got to make too much out of everything. But this is just hilarious, man, that they have this happening, and we keep getting reports about things that really are having nothing to do with this trial that we are not into. Boy, is this going to be fun.
It's turning into it's been a clown show from the beginning. Again, until they show me some key figures of this case, I'm not even going with it. I'm not. And I'll say this from my past, which I don't want to harp on my past. Anytime you got a co-defender, you messed up. Period.
Ugly. You can expect that you will not be going home anytime soon. If there's other people involved in the explanation and did not rehearse the lie thoroughly enough, as again, you saw when Lieutenant Taggart was out here blowing up the perfectly good lies, you can almost bank on it. Just like that. You know what I mean? Shout out John Ashton. Defiance Collins in the building. Alumni, I just wanted to figure out a way to say that and salute him. But yeah, Taggart will blow up that's what it is. That's exactly what your people will do. Anybody else knows about you killing folks, you are going in. It's nothing to it. The only way, if you can deal with the conscience of that, and we do not recommend taking the lives of others. That is not the view and certainly not the expressions of the Black and White Sports Show, Cumulus Media, its partners or affiliates, or those associated. But nonetheless, if you find yourself in a scenario where you realize you have taken someone's life, you should certainly look around first and make sure no one saw you, but you know there are cameras. And this is why we encourage you to avoid these type of scenarios. But nonetheless, when gambling, this is a little bit more prominent and prevalent to the accessibility of regular life. And in an effort to try to thwart your belief on this, the NBA is going to let this story stay front and center. And I'm just curious what type of information is actually going to get into these court proceedings, because, you know, Monty, they'd have to describe a lot of things that would explain a lot of things. So that's your best question, ladies and gentlemen. What are you going to find out in the Rozier trial? You know what I mean? What is going to actually get said that the stenographer can capture? That is what we should be concerned with, because therein lies the entire framework. And I would imagine the NBA has to be working feverishly trying to somehow pre-damage control not having damage. Because I don't know how you would.
But you know what, though? When you say that, this might be all part of the plan. You make it so muddy before it even started. So when you have to lay out what you got to lay out, everybody just put it in the same trash bin as all the garbage that's been going on.
And so I might not tell you all expect, you know, I don't know, unless you want a figurehead, like we say. Sometimes we suggest someone is elected to appear to the public that a policing took place. So if in fact Rozier, Laster, and whoever else has to be an image for everybody to see. Now remember, I described how they showed people going in and out of court and how that was done and how that was sort of in essence a manipulation of your psyche on how you absorb all of this. If these are going to be scapegoats, then that doesn't shock me. It wouldn't surprise me. It's almost an expectation for me, just as weird as them trying to get you to believe that Tim Donaghy was the only rogue official with regard to executing impropriety. I don't understand, and I cannot for the life of me fathom how you all in the public can allow yourselves to, again, concoct these beliefs in your own mind, because that's ridiculous. There's nowhere else in life do you know, again, we always say, you see one roach in your house, just call the doggone people, because killing that, don't even bother killing that roach. Let him go home and get with his family. Because they're there chilling. They've been chilling. You know what I'm saying? And there's a whole lot of them. So just understand this whole thing, that's what I'm concerned with. What would they allow to get said on this record? Like you said, Monty, it could get so mangled up. Somehow, again, it will be a perfect distraction. Somehow, like I said, as it plays out and we keep getting this, there's reasons we keep getting these leaks of this, because aren't there court proceedings happening with Chauncey Billups and, like we said, and Damon Jones, and we don't hear it. I haven't heard it.
Nothing.
We had this in the last couple of weeks. Rozier. Yeah. As if anybody cares about Rozier going down for gambling. Like, come on, man. So and
especially this Lassiter too. Like,
yeah. So what? You're man from Old West End. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. But nonetheless, okay. With that, last a couple of things too. Diggs. I didn't get a chance, man. What you think, man? Diggs, 12 million. Commanders, perhaps a good, a good. What did I want to say? A transitional, a recalibrating sort of, effort for our man Daniels this year. You're going to need a guy like this, another veteran presence. We felt as though he ended up being helpful with Drake May, and don't think that necessarily, went awry in any way. So we'll give Diggs credit for that. He seems to have been through whatever troubles that he was going to have to deal with on the legal side. I don't know if it's completely wrapped up, but obviously wrapped up enough for him to be getting a job and getting a new check. So, thoughts on that.
He'll definitely be a help to Daniels. He's one of those receivers that if you can build a bond with him, he'll definitely be a added thing. The only thing about Stephon, though, is Stephon is Stephon, and he comes with off the field baggage, and hopefully, he got enough of those shenanigans behind him that he can, just think football and be productive.
Yeah, that's what they're hoping and obviously banking on. And I think as guys get older too, at some point, because he's not necessarily, in the older frame in terms of, how he's looked at, but he's not, one of these young dogs either. And they expect you by now to at least be able to nullify any extras at this point. So hopefully, Washington catches him at a prime time for him to be an asset, perhaps earn himself, maybe one more decent payday here in a year or two, you know what I mean? Or at least after this one, because they'll be talking about, what are we going to do? Have you earned the space to stay in the space?
And I think he'll add at least 2 wins to their column.
Yeah, they'll need. We'll see what else it is, man. The Commanders, of course, caught everybody in a surprise mode not so long ago, and then back down to earth, you might say, last season. So they become one of those enigmatic situations that we can't wait to see what the unfold is. And certainly with the NFC East, it becomes very interesting, because it's funny how everybody in that division thinks they're about to win something. Right. And that can't be. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like it though. So I welcome it. So let everybody be fresh, as they say. You know what I mean? All of the division there in the East. Very solid. I appreciate it. It'll be fun smacking everybody this season. Boy, y'all sleeping on my they sleeping on my boys. I never really felt like talking about them before it because I got over that years ago. They stopped getting me with that one. But I have to admit, because it's a blend of the appropriate level of being quiet, and we still see on the news wire that there are significant changes in store. Yeah, I'm amped. I have some ampiness to me. I got some ampiness.
I got you.
Yeah. So, But all right, man. Hour number 1 wrapping up. Anything, man, to close out? We midweek, sir. We're going to come back again tomorrow, man, see what we can do with it on Thursday. Oh, but real quick, before you, Monty, if you can, I don't know what you got going as soon as you jump off, but if you can, stay tuned in when we come back after the break, because I have to share these Sage steals with people, and you could get a quiz question tomorrow.
Okay.
So you would have wanted to hear this, just like everybody else. Yep. Ryan Clark, expense, funny, satire time, hour number 2. We like that around here, off the wall, when we get back in here. Monty Features, I appreciate you, brother. We will talk to you.
All right, have a good one, bro.
Yes, sir. All right, Josh Burnham, we're back in here, 5:05. Josh has work to do, so please rejoin at that time. We always appreciate perfect attendance in the second half. It's Black and White, fastest $1.20. An hour's already gone, so that means we got one more to go. Don't you miss that one. Sit tight.
His Store and More, the Man Superstore Studios. This is 100.7 WQQO HD2 Sylvania, Toledo, a Cumulus Media station.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging.
Viagra, $2 a pill, $99 minimum order. Call 800-925-5313.
Upgrading to a smart home? Only Vivint offers a fully integrated smart home system. Every device works together seamlessly. Call Vivint now and get free professional installation, $200 off your initial order, and 0% APR financing for up to 60 months. Plus, you can get 24/7 professional monitoring for as little as $1 a day. Upgrade your home to a Vivint smart home. For your free quote, call
800-853-6497.
Keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation. Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now.
800-580-6475.
Is a program.
scenic 9-hole course with tree-lined fairways, sloped greens, strategic bunkers, and a winding creek throughout. Whether it's a quick round after work or a relaxing weekend game, Cherrywood is the kind of course you'll want to play again and again. Visit us on Facebook or go to golfcherrywood.com or call 734-856-6669 to book your tee time today. Cherrywood Golf Course, where 9 is fine if you don't have the time. God bless America.
Did your landscape not work out as planned? Did those plants die on you? Well, it's not your fault. Those plants should have tried harder. Hello, this is Tara with Dream Green. Dream Green offers monthly garden maintenance, bush trimming, and designs that are neat and tidy. Give us a call for your free estimate, 419-944-3948, or check us out at dreamgreentoledo.com. Dream Green, making your space your favorite place.
Back in here with my good friends at Rocket Internet, everybody. Just a quick reminder in case you might have forgotten. And in case you are looking for fast, high-powered internet, you must hear the sound of my voice in the following words that explain to you again that my friends at Rocket Internet are offering you 600 megabits per second for only $9.99 per month, people. Or 1 gig for $19.99 per month. Because you see, the biggest name isn't always the best deal. And both of these plans include Wi-Fi equipment, unlimited data, no contract, and a 3-year price guarantee. Visit GetRocketInternet.com or call 567-3-ROCKET to check availability and sign up. Rocket Internet is a prepaid internet service. Professional installation is required and a one-time activation fee applies. Offer subject to change or may be canceled without notice. Visit GetRocketInternet.com or call 567-3-ROCKET for full details.
Black and White Sports.
I want to talk to every single entrepreneur that is watching this program. You are looking at somebody who has cried, who has died, who has lost it all, gotten it back, been compromised in business, bought a business back, restructuring. I'm like a cat, I got 9 lives. So you are looking at somebody who has experience at loss, but you're also looking at somebody who has experience in faith. The difference between a winner and a loser is that a winner never quits. So if you feel like throwing in the towel, rethink it again. Do something different, pivot a little bit, because what it is that you are working on, God put it in your spirit for a reason, and you got to trust your gut even when it feels uncomfortable, even when that thing feels dead. My brother-in-law has been in the hospital since December 28th. When he went to the hospital, he had a stroke, a massive stroke, and he did not open up his eyes for 10 days. And I watched people. They didn't say it, but I could feel the energy of defeat around him because they didn't know if this man was going to open up his eyes. And then eventually he started to open up one eye, and then he opened up the next eye. And then eventually he started twiddling his fingers, and then he eventually started writing. And now he's starting to talk. But I'm telling you that because God will give you your motion back. No matter what it is that you lost, you will get your motion back every single time. Even when people are surrounded around you and they think that you're dead, they think that you can't hear, that they're talking and they're criticizing. God will give you everything that you lost. He will get it back times 10. I'm a living witness, and it compelled me to share that with any entrepreneur going through a hard time, because I get the messages, but just know, do not give up. God will give you everything that you lost, and you'll get it back times 10.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
However you may be listening, whatever you may be into, we appreciate you for making us a part of your situation. The second hour is underway of Black and White Sports 100.7. That's ESPN here in these glassy of city parts around here. Lucas County, what's going down? 877-909-1007 is how you hit us up if you want to do it. Josh gave you permission. I'm not involved in that. But nonetheless, take your shot. You might want to do something. It's a Wild Out Wednesday around here. We are midweek, just trying to get through it on the hump side. We know we are getting ever so close to actual gridiron competition on every level. So we're hyped with the young lads getting ready to get busy too on the high school situation. That's always first on deck. Then the college generals, and then the big dogs. Before you know it, bam, it's on. Well, really, it's on this weekend if you look at it in the context of the Hall of Fame game. So shout out to our friends in Northeast Ohio getting ready to host the annual NFL convention of sorts. Also, too, shout out to Jeep Fest and Whitney Rothcar and my man Bill Fisher and all those kind, wonderful people at the Jeep Fest getting ready to do that thing. Glass City, we getting ready to go off with that situation. We love it every year. And so we're excited. Always the Savvy Television, Love My 419, and even Black and White Sports. We always usually link in, and we anticipate doing that. We've been in touch with Whitney, Josh. It's our follower. We have more. There's a lot of more. We got stuff. We do this ties. This Savvy Television is getting crazy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's politically going bonkerini.
And Jeep Fest is getting bigger. I think
What?
it's now a 4-day
Don't
event
think
or
we're
something.
not in it and involved. I need to get where it's a car, though. I know people with Jeeps. Who has a Jeep? Somebody call somebody so we can dip down the block on the Ave with people. Then we go back and kind of, well, I'm not going to say that on the air because that would be incriminating. Looking forward to it. So shout out to Jeep Fest. And we know that, man, every time Lucas County, that's strong around here, just like, again, Black and White Sports, because you made it that way. All right. Year 7 is what we have happening around here. I am Andre, by the way, of the Savages. That's Josh Burnham over there. He's the head technical poobah. And shout out to Mighty Features, who was just here a moment ago and hung out with us for the first hour. So hopefully he will hear it. Josh, you have the clip that we got to say, because we're going to say still we get to do our Ryan Clark satire.
Yeah, I got both clips.
Yeah, we're not going to hold back on that. Andy will be along here shortly, too, in this hour. So we look forward to Sandman coming back. He's live in the studio today, too, Josh. No phone call. Coming in on the serious side today. Not that he's not serious on the phone. Sometimes I think he might be more intense on the phone. You ever notice? We're going to compare.
Yeah, I
today,
mean,
let's compare.
Well, if you think about it, he's in traffic. He's a bit driving. So there's a little bit of edge. I mean, when you're in the driving, you're listening to the radio and you hear opinions being formulated, and you feel like that's not true. I gotta say this and that and say this and that with more intensity than you say at home relaxing.
No, absolutely. No, you're right on with that, Josh. Absolutely. And maybe Sandman, if you hear it, you might want to jump back in the car. There's something about it. I think a lot of guys relate to that. I think they do kind of trip out a little bit more so when they get the vent from the car. There's something about that. I think you are absolutely on to something, Josh. So that's what you do. 877-909-1007. But I know there's not a lot to argue with me on. That is the way I receive that. Because you would. If you had something to say and trip out, you would. I know it. Because I hear you doing it on other stuff and other programs. But that's more of an argumentative place. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of non-necessarily acceptable, logical, and trustable sort of info floating in some of these other outlets. So you got to be careful where you get your food. Can't get the food from every grocery store, Josh. There's a lot of grocery stores.
Yep. Some of them more better than others.
It's only one Kroger's, though, around here. It's only one Publix. What's happening in the South?
Yeah, and only one Giant Eagle in Cleveland, Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Josh. Fill it in. Blankarinis. You can't go to every store just eating the food like that when you just, if you want to get if your stuff is in, Seaway, they don't know what I'm talking about. They know what it is down on Cherry Tree South. They already know. That's not going to be, you're not getting the finest. You're not getting the finest caliber. You're not getting the finest caliber. So be careful where you go tuning in, listening. Be careful. It's a lot around here in this market. It's, as they say.
But Walt Churchill's market is always very good.
Okay. What's also very good is when you can catch ultra low airfares, Josh. You see how I do the swoosh? The plane. That's my little plane.
Yeah.
It's like a jet. It's like a jet propel, boy. Fly for less with the lowest fares of the season, people. Whether it's a quick weekend getaway or a long overdue vacation, we connect you to top destinations for a fraction of the price. Don't let high costs ground your travel plans. Book your next adventure today with low-cost air and black and white sports. 800-558-5635. Again, book the low-cost air with us, black and white sports. And it's a family thing. 800-558-5635. Get on the phone. Do something. All right, Josh. All right, we move it along. So listen, we can play it now.
Yeah,
Let's say it because this was funny. It was on the wall. So apparently, what happened since we've been gone? Now we don't have a wall again. We're back to our page is gone, just like that. The whole page again. All the 12,000 people or whatever the hell's on it. 1,200. It's on. They're gone.
It's gone.
See that nonsense? Who has time for that? And
it's gone.
There's got to be legal ramifications for this, Meta. What's the cat? Who is the cat with that? Who is that? Is that Zuck?
Mark Zuckerberg.
That's the Zuck.
One of those tech bros that thinks they can play God.
Well, no, I mean they do. They can out here. It's a setup. It's set up that way. We really can't deny that they can. They're doing a good job at making it seem like that. But that's cool. You know, you're gonna hear from us again. Operations team will be in touch tonight. But I didn't even listen. I'm like you now, Josh. I'm good because I feel like it's the spirit realm pushing us off of that. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like a crutch, like don't use it.
Yeah,
that's how you know what I'm saying?
It's like I've always said, it's good for your mental health. I mean, if you take the toxicity of social media like Facebook out of your system, your head clears up, you have a better perspective in life, you have more time to do other things. I mean, your mental health just improves.
I might say this is an ironclad case Josh Burnham has presented. All right, it's a Wednesday, and we have all of this happening. All we did was try. We don't even know. What did we do in the first couple minutes that got that happening?
I think they're just trolling us.
No, it's a setup. I'm telling you, it's somebody here in this town has wired. You know, we got a lot of little smart nester types that are, you know what I'm saying? They, you know, that's okay.
Watch out for the
I know the foremost authority on how to reverse engineer. Let me tell you. So it's about time to elevate the cause. All right. And you elevate some. 877-909-1007. All right. I'm Andre. That's Josh. And we move on. Andy will join us here shortly. But until then, I can share this. This was on the wall. And when we could put our comical and sometimes often compelling stories, we would. But we continue doing what we would have done if we weren't being attacked. Let no weapon formed against us in the prosperous space. Let it never reach there. Okay. All right. So you all know we loved and enjoyed the Ryan Clark firing. It was great. It was warranted, and we certainly were anticipating it long before it actually took place. Couldn't have been more thrilled, okay? And then when you get on in the response section of the presentation and you attempt to go the sympathetic route of the public, please feel sorry, as if people care about you being on TV and talking about football and using it as a vehicle to pretend like you are a man of color we can trust in a leadership space to sort of revamp and perhaps work in tandem with a better representation or better positioning or placement of your ethnic origins. You tried to fool us, Ryan Clark, but you couldn't fool those people at ESPN, and they got tired of your schlit. So, Josh, Sage Steele is going to make it even better to hear her. And I believe, isn't Dan Dockich a part of this one too?
Yeah, I do believe.
This is what makes it complete, because anytime I hear Dan Dockich, my smile comes on my face. Every time I think about his remarks, usually they result in a comedic landing. But here are some regarding our man RC and his response to feeling as though he were dealt a bad deal.
Why is Ryan Clark on TV crying about being fired?
One thing that is sorely lacking in this country is adult males with the great American victimhood, can't handle defeat, can't handle rejection. You're going to get up there and you're going to cry to garner some type of sympathy from, I don't know who. Oh, it was authentic. Great, it's authentic.
That makes it worse.
Right. If you're going to be the bold guy that's going to talk about race, or you're going to talk about whatever, you got to be able to handle that if you're going to be Mr. Bold, if you're going to be Mr. Tough, if you're going to be Mr. Hey, look, I'm standing up for this. And as soon as Clark got knocked down, he's sitting there crying, sack the hell up. I've been fired. Contracts have run out, not renewed, whatever. I've been divorced. Okay. No one ever said you're going to get a job, you're going to keep the job, and everything's going to be good. Sack the living hell up.
Wow. And so I have nothing to add to that, Josh. I just wanted to share it with the people, and so they could enjoy that and snicker at that. Josh, did you have any thought? Do you disagree with Mr. Dockich or Miss Steele in this respect?
I just thought it was hilarious. I mean, he's right. He's right. I mean, you got fired. Man up.
That's JB. That's it. It's nothing to add. That's what it is. It's just like that. His name is Josh Burnham, ladies and gentlemen. So please understand that we definitely, we just appreciate that the universe still somehow always ends up correct, even when you try the Travis Sham mockeries of the sinister things, and you try to work, intentional, disingenuous agendas in life, you're still going to lose when it's all said and done. That's what it really tells you. The good word says it, though. If everybody really the problem is we don't believe it. That's it. We believe everything except what's supposed to be believed. You believe everything else except what's true. You ever think about that? You guys ever think about that? You believe almost everything that isn't true. That's how we're moving out here. That's the way we're running around. That's how life is working. And we believe that, again, all of the things that are actually more than obvious that are true are what we stand in opposition to. That's very interesting. But no, my man Ryan Clark, it was well deserved. That was a good model for some of the young people who think they're going to try that and sort of believe that you're going to be extra important to any of these networks like this, especially in this day and age where now you have a saturated market of people who kind of do this, Josh, where we're sitting here doing it, people talking about this stuff.
Tell me about it.
Come on, man. You know what I mean? So it just would not behoove you to conduct and carry yourself. And I saw a few of those moments, though, where you kind of knew in these cringe-worthy settings, this is not going to bode well for this person who looks like people who look like me. This isn't going to work. And the idea that he thought he was comfortable enough and had enough Mina Kimes friends and swagoos in his camp and put Van Pelt in there, because I know he listed some of those people. And that's it. He believes that people are his friends. They think that. Some of those people believe that. I'm not saying they all are that silly, but a lot of those people kind of think there's a genuine friendship that goes on when you just develop that after getting in this space only because you did what you did. No one would have been talking to Ryan Clark if he hadn't been fortunate enough to have a career in the National Football League. And we understand, again, there's thousands of men who've been able to do that, and it's still a very small pool. But with that said, this idea that somehow you just whenever you get to getting too important, interior, Josh, when you start feeling that way, it somehow will always choke you up.
Yeah, but in the long run, ESPN's no different. We're just movable furniture. You can be replaced at any time.
Man, listen, they let me know right away in 04. They let me know right away. Don't you ever think you are that important to the operation, because you ain't. All right? My mother is going to choke me for doing that. All these ain'ts and stuff on the air. But nonetheless, all right, we appreciate you guys hanging. Bottom of the hour. Hour number 2 is on. Sandman about to join, so we'll get into that, man. Get back to work around here. Try to finish this thing like we should. Also, too, a few major league looks tonight. Yesterday, I felt, again, like we were solid. We did not share the WNBA play, and that's my bad, because, honestly, we were going Toronto to cover that 11.5, and we also had an over. We do have the receipt, though. I can show you, because this list is typically prepared before I come in, and it says it. I don't know. I think we must have been pressed for time, Josh. We must have had to get off the air yesterday.
Yeah.
And I went with the baseball stuff.
Yeah, the orchestra was playing, and the producer was saying, move it on out. Move it on out.
Absolutely. I recall now. Okay, that's what it was. So it really wasn't, it wasn't an intentional, my bad, everybody. But we'll see what we can do today, see if we can stay with it. I think we might be catching some sizzle, too. Like the Tigers. Sit tight, though. We'll come back. Sandman up next. And again, back to the baseball frame and all of the happenings there. Oh, and some more of this NFL mention. We have that. Sit tight.
When the game ends, the real talk begins. Black and white sports with Andre of the Savages. ESPN 100.7 The Ticket.
Don't overpay for air filters this summer. Get them direct from First Filter in Perrysburg. For over 20 years, First Filter has supplied high-quality filters to office buildings, schools, apartments, contractors, and commercial facilities throughout Northwest Ohio. Now, homeowners can take advantage of that same quality. Public welcome. Stop in and save with prices that beat many big box stores. Need a hard-to-find size? Their team can build custom filters fast right in-house. Call today, 419-666-5260. Clean air starts with First Filter.
If you've been in an accident that wasn't your fault, well, your favorite attorney has a message for you. Collision, calamity, catastrophe. If you want money, you need an attorney. You need a bulldog. That's why you got to call the number on your screen now. They'll help you connect to a legal expert. You have questions, they have answers. These bulldogs will make sure people pay. And if you don't get paid, the attorneys don't get paid. Pick up that phone and call now to see what your case could be worth.
800-370-5435.
Thankfully, Marcy captors.
Maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation. Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now.
800-580-6475.
Failure? And migrating to a smart home? Only Vivint offers a fully integrated smart home system. Every device works together seamlessly. Call Vivint now and get free professional installation, $200 off your initial order, and 0% APR financing for up to 60 months. Plus, you can get 24/7 professional monitoring for as little as $1 a day. Upgrade your home to a Vivint smart home. For your free quote, call
800-853-6497.
It's with Progressive.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available.
Call now, toll free, 800-558-5635.
Party insurance not available in all states or situations.
Looking for Toledo's.
You want some boiled peanuts? What is a boiled peanut?
18 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Black and white sports.
Mickey Mantle don't care about you, so why should you care about him? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Worry about yourself, your family, the people that are important. Nobody cares. The only thing that matters is what's good for you and how you feel about each other. Don't you trust anybody? No. It's a horrible way to live. For me, it's the only way. It was just like Sonny said it would be. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
As we cross the bottom of the hour around here on this Wednesday, Fastest Buck 20, we appreciate you guys hanging out as you do. All right. Oh, man, Josh, I don't like this nonsense that's going on here, man. Nobody has time for this. Those of you who have been with us, we have a saga happening with the Facebook people. And I really don't want to be, it's not necessary for us to engage in this. It's just that, you know, how you build the audience there and you have that, you have to consider that, even though we keep encouraging you like we are about to now. You know, make sure you download the Savvy Television Network app today in your iOS, Android devices, respectively. But of course, any smart TVs, and if you already had a Roku situation going on at home or in your TV that you had previous, because the ones that are made now almost inherently come out with the Roku Avenue. But then we know the Fire Stick game is heavy. Fire TV out there, the Amazon Fire TV, you got us there. Apple TV, you got us there. And of course, again, we on Savvy Television on YouTube as well. So, you know, like I said, I'll try to get it straightened out. It's not making sense. It's starting to not make sense to keep trying to engage that. And I feel like the universe is telling us, quit trying to use Facebook as a crutch and make the statement by not having to use it, because this is what I'm realizing too, how many, you know, it's dangerous, even though you can't sleep on the people making their audiences and making their bones, you know, the Facebooks, the TikToks, or what have you. But I just don't think you guys are really giving the appropriate level of respect to the ability to erase you in these platforms. So whatever you think you're building, like I see people, some people I see, like they'll say like it's a network this and we're doing that. That's not a network. You're going to get, again, you're going to end up in the net. I'm telling you with that, like it's not believable when they can pull your cord like that. And that's the thing. Just imagine if we couldn't dip and be with you here. We're in the Savvy Television app live. It's our place. It's our own thing. You know, just like when you get your crib, and it's kind of like that.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
But you can't. Trying to shut it down. That's kind of stuff. Those are assaults, people. This is what you want to notice and realize you're living inside a documentary feature film and just hanging with your boy. Trust me, those of you who don't know, again, you got people like, shout out K. Jones. K. Jones is taking back on the historical. I think the whole general council would do that if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to all those boys. Because look, the thing is, you know what's so powerful about it, Josh? Why the general council is so heavy? These boys found it and stuck with it. That speaks more volumes than any of the metrics that they'll use to discredit, to not sell it. You know what I mean? I've even had people say they could not sell it. That's like code language for we can't get somebody to go with that style. I'm trying not to say something, Josh,
well, like
and turn it ugly, right?
K. Jones and Charles Hightower,
but guys, they go
friends.
back. Yeah, they go back. You know, and when you say friends of the show in that respect, that's a real serious situation. So for me, it's kind of an honor thing with you fellas. Trust me, because it gets tedious, gentlemen. It gets very tedious and very wicked and nonsense at levels you would never imagine. When you just, it's not even necessary like that. You know what I'm saying? When you're in a situation that really isn't necessary, but you're doing your best to comply because you think it's good for the greater good. And like I said, you guys, and those of you, it's not, hey, we love you all. Everybody who's coming in, and we're certainly getting a lot of new friends and family, but these people, trust me, these boys been here and refuse to relent. They are unrelenting. And for that, I show up. Because I was just getting a hair away from really, going to the dastardly, Josh, with these kind of annoyances.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they haven't, as one would say, and I don't want to get in trouble for saying this, gone postal.
Thank you, Josh. No, but you're right, because you're a logical man. And you would expect that would be a very logical response from me for so many reasons. All right, but yes. So many reasons to continue on. It's Black and White Sports. It's a Wednesday. It's hump day. And we are certainly trying to get over to the other side. Let me tell you. All right. But Sandman will be through here waiting on waiting to give him a chance to pop in here. But while I have an opportunity, I'm gonna get some other things that, like I said, they took the wall from us. We have more on the wall, Josh. Did you get the other sage still?
Yeah,
we might have two.
Yeah, I
got
the
other
other
sage
one.
still when she left. I thought this was interesting because I think it was right in line with what we were saying. Because then we'll bring Andy. We'll have, we'll come back with him. But this is another one, I think. But this one was more, I think it was a little bit heavier to kind of a little bit of what we were just saying here. You got a tax on you. And at some point, you have to kind of, you got to rise up against some of this. I don't know what you call it. But we got forces, people. We have a true and living, spirit warfare in full mode. All right. And you saw it, and we're talking about it here in our little Facebook account. That is a true example. But here, share the part 2 with Sage Steele. And I don't know if this really is a Ryan Clark deal, but I do remember her having to break out too and had her own issues with ESPN. I think she might have took them boys, she might have gotten litigious with
It
that.
was acrimonious.
Yeah, it was serious. But nonetheless, I thought the conversation, though, was necessary for this.
I didn't know what my line was until it was crossed.
I'm guessing you disagreed with him long before you left. When is it time to go?
For me, I knew at that moment that I had already been crushed by my network for being true to myself.
Mhm.
Everyone else was allowed to be true to themselves. And that's where there was the inconsistency. It's like you can't allow that for some and not others. You can't pick and choose based on the narrative that your company employs. So for me, that was it. I felt for my kids, I needed to be quiet. The night before my lawsuit dropped, I went to my each of my kids and just told them, like, this is what's happening. And don't feel like you have to defend me. I just need you to know. But I want to apologize for anything that might come your way, but know that I love you. And if we are going to make a difference in this world, that we have to find a time to stand up. This is my time, and it's going to be ugly, but I got to do this for all of us. And my son, John, my son looked at me, and he was 17 at the time. And he goes, Mom, it's about time you stood up for yourself.
Wow. And that, so I heard that, man, that really struck on a lot of chords and on a lot of levels as we move this conversation along. As all calls guests brought to you by Wake Up Call Line is in full motion, and we get him in here, our 216 boots on the ground. He is none other than Mr. Andy Sanzada coming in here this afternoon. Andy, I don't know how much of that you caught. We actually had some fun earlier. We were playing Sage Steele, and she has a very funny moment with Dan Dockett. So we shared that. But then I had heard this, and I did not even realize, or it got done under the radar in such a way that it definitely got past me. I didn't know she went through such, contentious energy and some of the things that the woman did with regard to a lot of I saw some of her remarks that weren't necessarily on the side of how the company would want to project what we want you to believe. All of our people believe that work here, or you're going to have to believe it or pretend that you believe it in order to work here. She wasn't necessarily with that. Comments in a few lanes that I don't think people recommend you go down these days. But, she did. And I thought that was interesting that, again, when she references, standing up and this is her time to do that. And her children saying, it's about time, Mom, that you stood up, meaning that we probably have been observing our mother in situations that, because the young people today, a lot of the stuff doesn't fly across them, not especially the intelligent ones, man, that really will hold you to the fire. You know what I mean? I happen to have one. I was kind of 50% on make one. It's really wild. I do not want to face my daughter. It's one of the worst things that can happen. Right? So that is a very helpful component for me staying on course in life. But with that said, I thought that was just interesting. That was powerful because that was an observation from her children. And that meant that she had probably been, sitting on her hands for a good portion of a very long career for Sage Steele. We're all very familiar, with the name. And like you end up realizing how much turnover has happened at ESPN right before your eyes without even seeing it. And, you know how it's done, and you know how smooth it can be, even if it's not smooth. But you'll be gone out of the memory in no time when they stop running the clips of you and they can't see you. That's it.
Yeah, I have always admired Sage Steele for standing up for what she believes in. She's a very strong Christian. She made comments that, politically, the higher brass at ESPN did not accept in their minds. And she's dead right, Sav. Why is it okay for one side to say what they want, but my side can't say what I want? And that's just wrong. And honestly, that's part of the problem in society in general. Like, it's okay for one side to say something and the other one can't say what they want to say. But that's another show. That's another conversation. But as far as litigation goes, I believe she won her case. If I'm not mistaken, Josh, you can double check me on that. But I think she won, and I think it was an open and shut case because it was pure discrimination against her political beliefs in terms of why she was terminated. And what she said really wasn't that strong of an opinion. All she was saying was facts. And the facts are men do not belong in women's sports. Period. End of story.
Right.
And as a woman, she should be allowed to say that and not lose her damn job for it.
Yeah.
Oh, answer your question. ESPN offered a settlement of roughly $500,000 plus legal fees in June 2023. She accepted the settlement in August and officially departed ESPN, stating she wanted to exercise her First Amendment rights more freely.
Yeah, see, there you go.
And I don't even think I don't know the different, the particulars in the case, but that seemed to ESPN got out real light on that. They got
she should have gone. She should have gotten a lot more. As talented as she was, and she was one of the major anchors at SportsCenter. She also was one of the hosts on NBA Countdown. Like she was one of their top female announcers. So for her to take, I think what she wanted, Sav, was she didn't want this to drag on. She could have gotten more money, but for her sake and her family's sake, it was better to just take what you could get and be done with it and move on. And now she's made her own path in terms of, sports announcing and politics and everything. I believe she has her own podcast. If not, she's constantly a guest on other podcasts where she's getting paid for her appearances. So, I'm happy for her. But ESPN needs to, and I know this is an ESPN affiliate, but, so the views of me do not reflect the views of anybody else on this show or on this network, but they need to wake up and knock this off. Like, enough is enough. Like, seriously, play it down the middle, stop leaning towards the one side. And we all know what side that is. And just be a sports network and stop dividing everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it just speaks to, that's the involvement of, again, the parent company still becomes the overall representation. And by that, it means that every subsidiary outlet has to comply and reflect this, because when it's time to get the litigation, it's the big dogs that get the fry, you know what I mean, that get in the skillet. And you're not going to allow some smaller faction in the entirety to again cause the ship to sink, so to speak, and they're not going to. It's just too dangerous now because you got to have a situation where everyone is included. It's just I don't know in what business you really. It's very. It'd be interesting to do some kind of research on how many organizational entities, Andy and Josh, will really allow you to sort of put forth or at least offer a narrative that does not suggest on some level that everyone here is kind of welcome, and the places that you can restrict. It's interesting to discuss how did you come to the terms and statutes that allow you to again practice in a way that's restrictive or non-inclusive, so to speak.
It's interesting to me that Stephen A. Smith has become such a powerful figure in the political world, adjacent to what he's doing right now at ESPN. And to be honest, I am completely shocked that they have not said anything to him about what he says and how he says it, because it completely does not line up with what they believe. And, you know, you're paying the guy $100 million. I guess that's the reason he can say whatever he wants. But if I'm all these other people that are losing their job for speaking their mind, I kind of have to look at ESPN and go, what the hell's going on here? Why isn't he being called out for what he's saying? But in all honesty, I agree with everything Stephen A. Smith is saying, because he's just stating the facts. Science, whatever you want to call it, this whole thing in the WNBA needs to go away, because all that it relates to is saying that men don't belong in women's sports. It has nothing to do with transgender people. It's all about men playing women's sports. But that community wants to make it about that. And that's why this thing is getting dragged out longer than it needs to be. And it just needs to stop. And I'm telling you right now, if that French player gets drafted into the WNBA, I won't talk to you about the WNBA. I won't watch the WNBA. You're going to have to find somebody else for that segment, because that will be the line that they cross too far.
I'm not mad at you saying, man, on that. All right. And he says, Zada, fired up, man. It's a lot of twisted stuff going on. The problem is, Andy, what it is, ESPN doesn't believe there is a man alive that could replace Stephen A. completely. They don't believe that there is a person on this planet. But, oh, well, we know something else. Sit tight, though. We're going to come and finish this, man. Andy and I. Sit tight. Picks to bake.
Want wagers that win? Weekdays will walk you to the window. Tune into Best Bets on Black and White Sports, 4 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 100.7 The Ticket.
The only 3 words you need to know. Alan Miller Jewelers.
If she wants diamonds, you want Alan Miller Jewelers at Navarre and Coy in Oregon. Alan Miller here to tell you about our bigger, brighter, beautiful Starfire man-made diamonds at Alan Miller Jewelers. Some say they have the largest selection. Some say they have the lowest prices.
Grandpa, you have a huge selection of diamonds and your prices are so low.
Jacob, my prices are so low, I can't even say it on the radio. You must come in and see for yourself. You won't believe the selection and prices.
Grandpa, how do you do it?
Well, Jacob, I am the king of diamonds. For the right diamond at the right price, come see me, Alan Miller. Whether it's a Starfire man-made diamond, an earth-grown diamond, or a loose diamond, we have it all at Alan Miller Jewelers.
The only 3 words you need to know. Alan Miller Jewelers.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging.
Viagra, $2 a pill. $99 minimum order. Call 800-925-5313.
If you've been in an accident that wasn't your fault, well, your favorite attorney has a message for you. Collision, calamity, catastrophe. If you want money, you need an attorney. You need a bulldog. That's why you got to call the number on your screen now. They'll help you connect to a legal expert. You have questions, they have answers. These bulldogs will make sure people pay. And if you don't get paid, the attorneys don't get paid. Pick up that phone and call now to see what your case could be worth.
800-370-5435.
Is it Toledo way?
Progressive knows that boat days can come with unexpected problems.
Dang, I forgot the wakeboard. How am I supposed to enjoy myself without my favorite water activity? I mean, sure, we could still go tubing, fishing, or even just relax on a floaty, but without the wakeboard, what's the point?
If a real problem comes along, your boat's protected 24/7 with Progressive, so you can keep worrying about boater problems. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
All right, Andy, I got your little damn memo here. You want to say your little point? Okay, everybody, we'll hold off on Andy's reaction to School Bowl. I wanted to even give him his chance to get his accolades, calling the 6 innings and everything else. But I should get the pat on the back, Andy, for letting the people know don't fall for that. Don't bet the Dodgers last night.
Yeah.
That was not the move. You know what I mean? Just too much. That's all. And
it's like I said in the text earlier. I don't think they're a lock to go back to the World Series just because they acquired Tarek Skubal. They have issues on offense. They're going to lose 6 in a row because they were down 6-1 today. Might even be 7 in a row. There could be issues with the clubhouse. Will Smith is hurt right now. He's one of the pioneers in that lineup, and he runs that pitching staff. That's a major loss. So they are not a lock. I'm telling you right now. There are too many good other teams in the National League that are going to push them and force them to earn it back to the World Series.
You know what, Andy, and I said too, wouldn't it be ironic though? And you figure maybe, the Dodgers will get it and line it up and get things in order. But what if, man, these damn Tigers get to sizzling though? It's a sizzle. What if they get to sizzling? They
are. They won 5 in a row.
I mean, it is what it is. That's all I'm saying. What if it ends up in this and we have a very dramatic situation? But nonetheless, let me share what he's saying, people. He sends me this quarterback tracker from the Cleveland Browns training camp.
That's today's performance.
Today's performance, people. Let's share. Shedeur Sanders, 11 for 16, 2 touchdowns, and a pick today. Deshaun Watson, 17 for 20, 7 touchdowns. Lord knows what they were doing to get all these scores and how much he had to be. That's a lot of reps must have been going on, but no picks. Dylan Gabriel, 4 of 6, 2 touchdowns himself, and no interceptions. And Green, no reps to speak of. So there you go. And you want to get that in is Deshaun Watson. All right, man, I get it. It's real. It's
I'm just telling you what the organization is leaning towards. That's all that was sent to you for.
Gotcha.
If he puts up numbers like that, they already, in my mind, want him to be the number one.
Yeah.
He's going to solidify that if he keeps performing like that in camp. That's all I was saying.
No, I get you. I mean, I can't get mad at it. If the man is doing it, you know what I mean?
Plus, here's the thing, and the reason, you know, he played like that today. The fans were booing him and telling him he was washed up at practice yesterday. So he kind of had a message to the fans with that performance for sure.
And listen, honestly, though, what's really strange and what should be said is the Browns are in a hell of a position. That's cool for a change. I don't think to be honest with you, I think they will have a successful, go with either guy, maybe, because if this is what we're getting, we're not just going to begrudge Deshaun Watson just because he might not be our favorite guy and this and that. But if that's what's happening, Browns, you're in a good situation, but are you going to find a way to make it a bad situation? And I still think we'd go with the kid just because we had the sample that we had from last year, and I have to find out if that's legitimate. On some level, I got to find that out right away, especially if I know that this guy in Watson will at least insert a veteran energy at whatever time you apply it. If you do it from the beginning of the season, cool, but I still don't know what that means in terms of finding out exactly what we have with the young guy. I just don't understand why we don't find that out in this particular scenario. I get everywhere else with Mendoza and them boys and all that. We understand that's the scenario, and that's typical. But here we should be thinking the exact opposite because I got Watson. So I know I'm good if it's not good.
But again, I think Haslam has this hang up about this contract.
Yeah.
Proving everybody wrong. And I mean, this is the same owner that traded Myles Garrett and Giannis Antetokounmpo in the same year. So let's keep that in mind.
That was real. Hey, that's another bar. Hey, he just did another commercial, Josh. That's another pro.
Yeah,
he just did it. Yeah, we got that. We got one. Yeah.
Jimmy owned the owned a piece of the Bucks.
Yeah.
But the thing that's concerning as a Browns fan is these guys have every opportunity to step up and take that job, right? Other than what Watson did today, which shows me he wants the number one job, they haven't done it. They were both garbage yesterday. All three of them were garbage yesterday. I still don't understand why Dylan Gabriel's hanging around. I just don't get it. He had 6 starts last year. He was complete garbage. He doesn't have the arm. He doesn't have the ability to read a defense. Get him out of here. Put Taylor Green as your third string quarterback. You drafted him to play quarterback. Unless you're going to move him to receiver. Then you keep Gabriel, fine. But do that. Stop just sitting Green and not giving him reps and giving him to Gabriel. It's a waste.
Yeah, I agree. Dylan Gabriel's the odd man out. I wouldn't be surprised if he lands like with another team like, say, Miami, that really needs any help at quarterback.
I won't even comment on that. You guys can have it. The Dylan Gabriel I checked out long ago. But, hey, I appreciate it. And, Andy, I appreciate what's going on. I appreciate the fact that the guys are making it tough to decide. But like you said, I do think when it all shakes out, we got to rock with what the owner is on. And that man is determined to not seem crazy for doing that. And I think that might be more important. I just don't see why you don't stay with what's the momentum thing, what I really think the team wants, what the team has been wanting, and let that man see if it's really a destiny thing, man. Because I'm not ever selling Shedeur as some ultra talent that must be advanced and we must adhere to and submit to the idea that he is the heir apparent and a super supreme.
Yeah,
say, let's see.
The other thing is you got to remember this offensive line is unknown. You know, you had a Hall of Famer in Batonio retire. You drafted a bunch of rookies that are on the front line. You don't know, and maybe they're protecting Shedeur from that, possibly by not allowing him to be the starter if Deshaun gets the call, because Deshaun is, a little bit more mobile when he's healthy. I think sometimes than Shedeur is. I think Deshaun's a little faster. Shedeur might have better skills overall, but I think speed-wise, Watson was known for that when he was healthy. So I think that you have to think about that too if you're Todd Monken. You know, what's your offense look like when a makeshift offensive line and basically a rookie offensive line. So there's a lot that's going into this decision. It's not just about the throwing and the numbers. So we got to keep that in mind as we talk about this throughout the next few weeks.
Let's roll out of here, man. Let me give you a couple plays, all right, before we go in this last 30 seconds here. Black and White Sports on this Wild and Out Wednesday. Thank you, Monty Features. Thank you, Andy Sanzada. Always incredible work. And Josh Burnham, you know what he does, ladies and gentlemen. We couldn't do it without him. I'm Andre of the Savages, and on the way out of here, I say this. WNBA, we strong tonight. We're going Chicago. That's a money line, all right? L.A. coming through. Atlanta, that's a money line, but it's going to be tough with Phoenix. Kelsey Plum and these ladies got something to say. I would say that's the one that I'm least confident, and it's a little tricky, but I don't like them to cover that 7, and I don't like the Liberty to cover the 8 against Seattle for some reason tonight. That also smells funky. I might take that 8 points there with Zaya and the ladies. And in Dallas gets upset tonight by Washington with the 1.5 money line. I usually go the other way with the favorite here, but I'm not. Washington a little better than we think. I think they show it tonight. I believe they are at home. MLB, tonight we're going again. You're not going to take Cincinnati 2 nights in a row, so don't. Let's bet against them. Let's take Cleveland tonight because yesterday was a little fluky. I think they respond today. And let me see, Seattle tonight. You can't go with Detroit twice like that. I think the streak breaks right here, Andy, Josh. So I don't want to say it, but I think that's what it is. So remember that. Seattle and Cleveland, and we going against the Reds tonight. So, all right, there you go. WNBA. See you guys on a Thursday. Please, by all means, don't cheat on your wife and handle your business today.
Where we're at now, it can't be what is the end going to look like. It has to be we have to take care of business today and then tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
His store and more, the man superstar.